The prevailing theory of how the pyramids were built is by many men pulling blocks on sleds with ropes up long ramps. But besides there being no evidence for this method, you cannot find a demonstration of it because no one has ever been able to achieve this feat with even a 5-ton block, much less one of the dozens of 60-ton blocks used in the upper chambers of the Great Pyramid. So, using the water floatation method, we first cut a canal into the base about 4 feet deep and 12 feet wide by about 15 feet forward into the base. We can now float our rafted block forward into this enclosure. By now adding 2 4-foot-high parallel walls on both sides of this channel with up and down sliding wooden gates on the narrow ends, we can now float our raft up another 4 feet or so. If we now continue our walls another 15 feet forward into the structure and move our inner gate to the new end of our lock, we can float forward over the upper level. As we open our outer gate to dump our water, our rafted block will land on top of this upper level. If we use 11-foot long round plank logs to fit our 12-foot wide lock, we will find that our block is already situated on top of roller logs. With more roller logs placed in front of our block, it can easily be rolled forward as if on a conveyor belt. On each new level, a temporary lock can be used to raise enough blocks for our first permanent lock on that level. This can be done using either smaller blocks or with the use of wooden forms as we do today to contain concrete. Most lock blocks are permanent and are still glued in after 46 centuries. To keep our water lock lifts on top of the structure, we will raise this lock straight up for 4 levels to make it rise as much as it runs into the structure. A series of 4-level stepped-in locks could be seen on each face of the structure, giving us 4 lifts running simultaneously. If the elevated man-made Lake Moeris on a hill above the Giza Plateau doesn't pump water up into the pyramid, as I think, then a series of water bucket brigades on the 13 acres of the sides of the pyramid could supply enough water to run the lifts. The water brigades could also deliver water to these water storage silos later, which is what the pyramids were actually built for, I believe. Using even a slightly gapped stack method within the structure, it could store and supply many acre-feet of pressured, clean, and desalinated water to the cities and farmlands below them. A perimeter row or surrounding wall would be installed first on any new level to allow us to flood the level, thus enabling most of the blocks to be floated directly to their installation point. Installing equalization locks inside of the top locks would help this process. All of our bigger 60-ton blocks used in the upper chambers could be raised in a large lock onto the base level at the same time, to then rise with the structure until needed. This would eliminate the need to keep a large lock open throughout the process. There are the remains of a lock lip on the side of a nearby quarry at Giza as evidence of this process. Consequently, if the ramp method were used, they should be evidence at the quarries and are not. Indeed, there remains evidence of the water lift method around the world.